Welcome back to another video. We're going to be going into the sound effects and just different things that you can add to your videos. So without further ado, please hit that like and subscribe if you would like to see more. Let's jump right in. So we have our first audio I will play for you guys right now. Eat your food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for food. Obviously, it's just something simple. We're gonna dump into Farlight. You can do some effects with the edit page, but honestly, it's not very much. Or at least not things that I typically would like to use. Let's make this a little bit larger. I'm just using Alt and my scroll wheel, and I'll go back to the very beginning. For this first effect, we will add in reverb. Is it clicking? Oh, sorry, I couldn't see the thing for a second. So now it has the reverb effects that's on there. I'll play one without it. Eat your food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for food. And I'll play it with it. Eat your food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for food. So now it sounds more like kind of a telephonic humminess to it, as well as if you want to put something in the back room. You do have a lot of presets like Cathedral. This sounds a little bit different. Eat your food for medicine, or you eat medicine for food. So you can make it sound like you're in somebody's head. You can also do concert hall. Eat your food for medicine, or you eat medicine for food. The studio sounds more weird. It's like it's kind of muffled, like more of your midtones. Eat your food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for food. So it's all these little, quirks. You have vocal width too. Eat your food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for food. Kind of like a megaphone. I typically like to, let's see, can I go back to, probably won't do. And this is another one too. I'll just show you this real quick. Eat your food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for food. What I like to do is reset this. Typically, if I just want to add a little bit of echo just to make the voice stand out a little bit, I'll drop down the wetness to about 20 or so. I'll just say 20 on dot. Let's play it back and it'll have a small echo. Eat your food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for food. So it gives it a little bit of a, just more of a filler sound if the voice sounds too dry. I recorded this using the dynamic mic. And so it has more of a, let me adjust this back, but it has more of a drier sound to it. I don't know if I can really describe it. Condenser mics are used for like your music and of course typically for films. Dynamic mics are more for like a stage if you don't want to hear up the background audio. But it does kind of take away a lot of the other sounds. So this just gives me like a filler sound to go with it. But you could change like your reverb time if you want to. I can drag it out a lot longer. Food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for food. And even, I'll show you as I move my playhead. Watch this audio over here on the right side of the screen at the very bottom, and watch this side. When I stop my playhead, it'll still have that echo out. Eat your food for medicine, or you'll eat medicine for. See, it still carries out. So you could play around with this and kind of give you more of a mysterious vibe to it, which is really one of my best features for it. Of course, I have more audio stuff, so I will get over to that. Let's zoom back out. And we'll try a different one. So again, I'll play this audio first, and then we'll add a different effect. It's okay to be disruptive. And for this one, we're gonna give it more of a scary tone. So what I will do is go over to audio 2, and let's go down to where it says pitch. And this is just going to change like your semitones or cents. Cents is like minor increment, semitones is a whole key change. You'll see what I mean in a second. But this is how it sounds normally again. It's okay to be disruptive. And now let's drop it down maybe. Well, I'll change it one by one just so you can see. It's okay to be disruptive. Let's drop it down another one. It's okay to be disruptive. And let's just go ahead and put it down to about 6.
It's okay to be disruptive.
And we can use that same effect if you want to. I can use, you want to press Alt, click the in between space where you usually would pull up this menu, hold down Alt, click it and drag over. Now it automatically copies over the original input. And so now I'm going to combine these two.
It's okay to be disruptive.
Now it sounds like I'm kind of a very deeper, like taller type of character. Let's actually bring this a little bit lower, and let's change reverb to where it's not as intrusive.
It's okay to be disruptive.
Now it sounds very interesting. So I just love to kind of play around with these effects, and you can also combine them just to add different things. Obviously this one, we'll go back to this. Eat your food for medicine. Or it's not a pitch change. And then over here,
It's okay to be disruptive.
so it's just really neat. Some of the cool little tips right there, but that's if you want to make a little scary theme. You can also change the semitones to make it sound brighter. So I'll bump it up.
It's okay to be disruptive.
Now it sounds like an alien.
It's okay to be disruptive.
And if you want to sound more creepy, I'll show you this one as well too. Let's hold down Alt, drag it up, and let's make this track now visible. Come on, DaVinci, don't stall
It's
on me.
okay to be disruptive.
Now as the voices play side by side, it can make it sound like it's more of a
It's okay to be disruptive.
more of like a creepy, like, I don't know if it's a robotic or alien type of style that it kind of gives off, but you kind of get the picture. You can mix and blend different effects, and you can change how you want that to play for your audiences. We'll go over to another one. So we'll start with this audio. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? Was it from your heart? And for this one, we shall do, let's add some distortion. And of course I have different effects. If you don't have Audio Labs, then this won't show up. You just have Farlight. But we'll hit distortion. And in distortion, you have quite a few settings, but I'll play it. Let me take off the distortion first. I'll play it back normally. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? And then I'll just add it on distortion. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? It may not sound like much, but it is doing something. Let's go over to Boost Presence to where you can hear. Actually, let's do Boost Mids first. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? See how it sounds kind of like what would it be? Like 80s and 90s type of videos, sometimes the music videos, or Gorillaz. If you ever listen to them, that band, they usually have like a microphone or megaphone type of style. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? And let's go to Boost Presence. I'm just gonna show you different types. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? So it has a slight distortion. This is gonna be really, really crunchy. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? So it sounds like it's, you know, almost like it's clipping the audio, but you can use it for different effects if you like, just to kind of give it a more of a like punchy type of distortion, if that makes sense. We'll try Fuzzy Face. Can you defend it? Was it from your heart? And you can make this, like, if I wanted to, I can make it a little bit quieter to where it sounds like it's on the phone, like if someone has their phone down and they're listening to it on speaker. Can you defend it? You know, if it was like a radio that's sitting off to the side for a film set, or someone trying to talk through a megaphone or whatever, and it's just kind of muffled in the background for your audience, you kind of get the picture, but that's what this will work for. Let me boost this back up to 10, and I'll show you the high buzz. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? It's slightly more when you have like a higher pitch voice to it, and this is one of my favorite ones, the lo-fi radio. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? Was it from your heart? And so that, I would say, more so sounds like if it's on a cell phone, not if they're on speaker, but if they're holding up to their ear, and you just want to kind of make sure it feels more immersive for your film setting or video if you're just playing around with some cool neat effects on there. And I'll lastly show you the megaphone one for this effect. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? Was it from your heart? And again, you can still combine effects. So I would bring up the lower version of this. Let me use Alt and up, and let me change, let's change this pitch back down to 5. Now let's play it back. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? Was it from your heart? Let's make this a little bit louder. Let's bring you down so you can hear the difference. Did you mean it? Can you defend it? Was it from your heart? So you kind of get the vibe, but it's just really neat for what these effects are capable of. And of course, having great imagery can make the difference for it. But even if you don't have the best of like film gear or the best of audio, you can still kind of tweak and get this really nice atmospheric type of effect for any type of production that you're creating. And it just makes it stand out a little bit better. So that way you kind of pair more towards like your Hollywood filmmakers, or if you want to compete against like Peter McKinnon, you know, just different people that you want to excel and kind of mimic or you know, appear to be on the same level with them. It's just really nice to have these in your back pocket. I'll show another effect, and we'll go to this audio too.
Knowledge is like underwear. It's great to have, but not necessary to show it.
And these are just like random quotes I heard over my lifetime, so don't ask why or where I got them from. It's just random. For this one, we use EQ. Actually, no. Let's do Spatial. This one you would need to have headphones on because it's very like it I promise you it does something, but you have like, don't listen to this on your phone or just your laptop screen. Like, plug in headphones for this effect. Spatial just kind of makes it to where it can kind of feel more of a broader scheme of your audio. It kind of immerses you into it. Some audios are typically centered around the center. This makes sure it's wrapped around your entire head. And you can get into like 7D audio within DaVinci, but I'm not going to go into all of that today. But it is possible to where you can have like the movie theater effect where it comes all around you. For this, I'll just show you the standard for it. And also this is a trick if you only have like a mono channel, which is just one audio, if you don't know what mono is. So I'll show you the standard with the Spatial.
Knowledge is like underwear. It's great to have, but not necessary to show it.
And you see where it's tracking the audio in the middle. It's kind of showing you where it's pointing at. Now let's go over to where it says max separation. If you notice, it's going all the way, not just from the middle, but from left and right too. So listen to the audio again.
Knowledge is like underwear. It's great to have, but not necessary to show it.
And so I'll play it one more time without this.
Knowledge is like underwear. It's great to have, but not necessary to show it.
And I'll play it one more time with the max.
Knowledge is like underwear. It's great to have, but not necessary to show it.
And I'll play one time, switching between the two.
Knowledge is like underwear. It's great to have, but not necessary to show it.
So it gives it a little bit of boost. I think you hear it more so if I go over to, let's move this max. Actually, let's take that off. Let's do this, delete plugin. Let's go to max separation. Let's click you back on. Let's drag you over to this right here. Let's take this off. Actually, no. Let's see.
It's okay to be.
Yeah, let's do this one. Audio 2, and let's mute you.
It's okay to be disruptive.
And if you go back to this without it,
It's okay to be disruptive.
so it has more of a, it's very subtle sometimes, but it does play a big role. And then of course, little Easter egg, if you do have a mono track, sometimes if I'm recording with just the standard XLR, or if I record from like a cell phone, sometimes it may not always give you a stereo track. I don't know why that is, just depends on your settings typically. But if you do have a mono, don't worry, just hit mono and it will change it to where it all focuses into one channel. So if you just have one string of audio, this will give you that ability to kind of hear it as a stereo form, and then shift that audio to be left or right. So it's not all is lost. Sometimes if you work with different clients, they'll give you just a mono track. Everything's not lost. The information's still there. Just switch it to a mono and then you'll be able to adjust it left and right. So that's kind of your Easter egg, but we'll move on to the next one. And let's go over to this one. We'll play it first.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
All right. So for this one, we shall go to, let's see, vocal processor. Which one do I want to give you guys? I'll do, actually, let's do the EQ one instead. Try to keep this video as short as possible. But we'll go to EQ. So this obviously would take up a big chunk of the screen. So let me minimize this. Let's play it back.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
Okay, so let's scoot this over a little bit. That way you can see what's happening. And we have our EQ. This just allows you to have different points, like changing your high pass filters and low pass filters. If I want to make my voice sound a little bit deeper, I want to play around with this back channel right here, and I want to raise it up, not down. Down is subtraction, basically. Up is addition. So I'll raise this a little bit.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
I'll play back without it.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
So it's very, very subtle on this one, but let's actually drop the lows for this. Let's bring it all the way down. Now you hear more.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
See how it's muffled now? You can raise this back up again. You can increase your mids if you would like to, mids and lows.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
So this kind of gives you more of obviously these are more extremes, but you have your effects that kind of clean up your audio. And there's some presets that'll help you out along the way. This will just clean and add your high end. So I'll show you what this sounds like.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
Obviously for a male's voice, it won't really do much to the high end. For female, this will change.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
For my voice, obviously it makes it sound a little bit more cleaner because I have more bass in it. This is more for male.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
So it gives more of a cleaner tone or a cleaner, sound towards the lower tones. Let's go over to where it's purely male. As you notice, there's more adjustments to kind of tweak the bass.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
Of course, you have your telephone effect. This will give you a similar effect to like your distortion effects I showed you earlier.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
And it sounds obviously pretty close to a telephone. And then of course you have your top end boost too, but this is more for like music.
We buy with emotions and justify with logic.
So there you go. These are your voice effects. You can do the same thing for music. If you want me to make a video on those, I can make that as well too. But I just want to show the voice just because if you're creating films and you're missing different elements or you can't hire someone to add it for you, I just want you to know it's not that hard to do it all. It just comes down to just playing around with it and see what works for you and what works for your style of film or just what works for the actual images that you're receiving if you're editing for a client. But that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys like this, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And also let me know in the comment section what you would like to see next, because that allows me to create videos for you and also center it based towards you. So that's it for this video. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.